Okay, so you guys have arrived here in Drifeldur, where the town is racked with this sort of, it's in this sort of chaotic weather state, where there is, it should be storming. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, here we go. Get some ambience going for us.
And now the weather with Stormy Daniels. Stormy?
So, there's like these columns of flame that are sort of dropping in out of the sky here and there, and there's ice that's sort of growing and melting in various places, and small whirlpools in the waist-deep water. But this town looks effectively ruined. You don't see any people. There's light snow here and there. And y'all seem to be the only living creatures in this town.
What about that cat over there? That cat... Oh, no, that cat just got struck by lightning. Never mind.
Okay. So I'm gonna go up to the... Where's the ice? Right here. I'm gonna go up to the ice and just kind of touch it to see if it's regular ice.
Touching it, it does seem to be just regular ice. But it shouldn't be here with the weather being this warm.
Yeah. I inspect this guy's body.
Looking at that corpse, it seems bloated, white. Though it's still floating in the water, it seems to be fairly decayed. This person likely died a while ago. Like weeks ago.
Is there any solid ground anywhere?
Yeah, there is. There's dry land here, as far as you can see, but the water beneath you, it's only about waist deep.
Yeah. I'm gonna just drag each of these bodies onto land and then bury them.
Okay, so you're gonna drag each of these bodies on the land?
Yeah, and then bury each one.
Okay. So you're gonna go through the town doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. Liante. Thorvald is sort of just dragging the bodies out of the water onto dry land. What are you doing while he's doing all this?
Trying not to get myself buried in all these bodies. Stepping out of there.
There's a lot, and they smell pretty bad. And as you're pulling them onto land, Thorvald, you've got one by the wrist, and it just sort of like comes apart at the stomach, and there's just a horrible smell that fills the air as this kind of rotted, soft, bloated body falls apart.
Ew.
I ignore the smell.
Liante just like crinkles her nose at the stench.
Yeah, I don't want to waste a spell slot here, but I will definitely waste a spell slot just to get away from these bodies. What's in this building?
You're getting away. So
Yeah.
as you circle around this building, Liante, up to about the front here, you see the door is knocked open, and it's just sort of sitting open. All of these buildings are on like a small layer of stilts. You wager that this town likely used to deal with flooding in the past.
I head inside. Do the smart thing. Go in alone.
Okay.
I'm the final girl of this scenario. I will do this.
So walking into the room, there's immediately like the stink of death.
The stink.
And there's
The
blood
stink.
all over the floor. Walking in, there's a corpse of a man on the ground in front of you, and off in the distance, you see, just around the corner, the corpse of a dog.
Oh no.
Fuck, they killed the dog.
No. Are these fresh bodies, or have they been sitting here a while?
They've been sitting here for a while.
Yeah, they probably have like they're probably like maggoty and shit, and I shouldn't be touching them.
I'm
But
just prestidigitating as I go along, cleaning everything up.
Yeah, looking about you, this building was likely once like a brewery of some kind.
Yeah, I'm just prestidigitating all the blood and guts and gore that I find. Like, ew, no, 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 no.
You're cleaning everything up.
As I walk, yeah.
Okay. So you are here. I'll just go ahead and start deleting all this blood as you walk through, deleting all the work I've been doing for the past few hours.
You're welcome.
good God. You're right, we are like removing all the bodies and all the shit.
That being said, Liante, by the time you are done, you have managed to clean this building, save for the smelly bodies that lay in place.
Well, it helps out a bit.
Okay. Thorvald, you are nearing completion, wrapping up all these floating bodies and bringing them back to bringing them back to this little section of dry land. As you cross town, though, over to about here, you do notice another patch of dry land off in this direction. Sorry,
Where?
Off in this direction.
Alright, I gotta zoom out a little bit.
Here, I'll move you here.
Oh, okay. Where? Off in what direction?
The southeast.
Alright.
One direction.
Go towards it. Well, after I get this body.
Okay, yeah. So
I noticed that dude kind of tucked away in the alley.
Yeah, so you move him back towards all the other bodies over here.
Alright, now I go that direction.
Okay. Sort of as you exit this little township off in this direction, the land starts to become a little drier as it moves into higher ground, and there does seem to be a trail that heads off in this direction.
I go back and find Liante.
Okay. As you're walking through this end of town, you are able to see there are several doors that seem to have been knocked open along the way.
Yeah, most likely raided. But, you know what, let's check all the buildings first.
Okay. They aren't all open. Some of the doors are closed, some of them aren't. Which ones would you like
I
to
knocked on
investigate?
some of the closed doors.
Okay, so like which one?
Which
So,
ones are
like-
closed?
This one's closed, this one's closed.
Yeah, I knock on the closed door.
Okay, so you knock on the door,
Yeah.
No one answers.
no response. Liante, what are you gonna do about these bodies over here?
Is there one of those firestorms happening outside?
Yeah, there's one that's happening right here. You don't know how long it's gonna be there.
True. Alright. I'm gonna bring the dog's body because the dog's body is probably gonna be easier to carry.
Okay.
And just toss it into the firestorm.
Alright, you toss it into the firestorm, where it sort of cooks and turns black for a moment, immediately sinking to the bottom of the water before it just sort of like sits and rests on the bottom.
That took care of that body. Oh well, temperature's around.
Ironically, Thorvald's like dragging bodies past you as you do this to bury them up here. But that takes care of that one.
I just threw a corpse into a fire and I call it a day.
So you're throwing all these corpses into the fire?
Oh no, the dog. I'm not going to touch the other one.
Okay. Alright. Stepping outside, Liante, you see Thorvald knocking on the door over here. But nothing seems to happen.
I go back into this house and search and give this house a good proper search.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Investigate imagination. And I roll the 10.
10? Okay. You're able to find a good supply of grains, which will be helpful. It does look like to some degree this building was ransacked, but surprisingly there's not as much missing as you would expect. You do find a stash of beers, like a good crate or two, which is actually a pretty good amount of beer.
Is that a chest up against the wall?
Over here?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I would like to open that now.
Opening that chest, you find inside a couple farming implements like sickles for cutting the grain, various tools. There's a scale for like measuring out proper amounts of ingredients. There are hops which function as a preservative. It looks like generally there's brewing supplies here. If you'd like any brewing supplies, this is a place where you can get them.
What you saying is there's no dirty secrets and or cool nifty stuff. It's farming tools and trade tools.
In this chest, there's farming tools and brewing tools. Are you wanting to like search these bodies as well?
Yes, but at the same time, no.
Standing over this corpse over here, you do see some sort of trinket around his neck. It looks like just like a necklace with a claw on it. And this person over here seems to have a small key on him as well as a couple of tools.
Ooh. You know what? I'm just going to try to lift the trinket up with my rapier.
Okay. Lifting it up, it just appears to be a large claw of some sort.
Yeah, it's not even properly shiny. Throw that away into the water and just go over to get the key.
Removing it with your sword, you just sort of carelessly flick it into the water outside the building.
Like, it's not even properly shiny. Looks shiny and not shiny enough.
Ugh, yeah. Thorvald, what are you doing over there?
He's gone for a minute.
Oh, did he say he was in right back? Okay. In that case, Liante, this guy doesn't...
I will get that key.
You will get that key?
Yeah.
Okay. You get the key. Looking at the key, it seems to be made of a similar metal to these doors over here, meaning that you should be able to close the doors. Unfortunately, you still have these two smelly bodies in here, and if you can get Thorvald to repair this door over here and get it back on its hinges, you'll be able to lock that one as well. Which means you basically just got yourself a brewery in the middle of Drifeldur, if you should so decide you ever want to live inside a brewery here.
Yeah, but at the same time, Drifeldur's gone to shit.
That's true, but you do have a place for the night. If you can do something about these flies anyways.
I could, but no, I don't have fireball.
Just burn the flies.
It was like, why'd you do that? There were dead maggoty bodies and flies. But why'd you have to burn the entire place down?
True.
I have no
How does Liante get rid of a body?
She bribes... No, you charm someone else to do it.
Charm someone else to do it. Okay.
Rourke ball!
He's just like... hearing you call his name. He's gonna... out of here.
These bodies are really heavy, and we need to take care of them. Can you be a deer and just do whatever it is you do?
Rorqual looks down at the body and looks back up at you, and his nostrils just kind of like flare as he's like. Doesn't seem that he really likes the smell of these bodies very much.
I don't either. Why do you think I'm asking the gorilla to do it?
Looking at you again with a face that looks like displeasure. Rorqual is going to gingerly like pull at this body over to about the door, at which point the torso sort of separates from the legs, and he is going to toss the torso into the water and then kind of toss the legs in as well, leaving a nasty, smelly mark on the ground.
Yeah, that's instantly getting prestidigitized.
He's then gonna do the same thing and bring this old guy out here. But since Thorvald also kind of has a role in what Rorqual does, Rorqual's probably gonna bring these up here to be buried as well. Olivier is sort of staring wordlessly over the bodies of these raiders here, seemingly locked in some kind of trance. But you now have a clean brewery in the middle of Drifeldur that you have the key to.
There's an 18 insight on Olivier. She's acting really weird.
Yeah, with that 18 insight, you are able to see that Olivier is undergoing something pretty serious right now. It's been a long time for her since she's been this close to these raiders.
Yeah. Question: is her metal arm on the wrong side of her body?
It's on the right side, yeah.
Is that the right side or the wrong side?
It's the right side.
This doesn't answer my question. Is her arm on the left or the right?
It's on the right side.
So which side is right? Left or right?
The not left side.
Oh, okay. Why did you say so?
Yeah, Olivier is definitely going through a good bit. Liante, you were not there when this happened, but it just so happens that Thorvald also had an owl mask before, back at the Manticore's tail, and when he showed it to Avina and Olivier, they freaked out. And Olivier had a very traumatic response. And in the end, Thorvald and Olivier burnt the mask while you were sort of meditating in your room. Which is another reason you probably don't want to show that to them.
Oh yeah, no.
But yeah, Olivier is sort of standing over all of these corpses here, fists clenched. Looking like she's thinking very hard about something.
Again, I could always burn these bodies. You could always just throw them into the fire.
That's true. But with your prestidigitation magic, you could also just like try and burn them that way.
Yeah, but that would take forever.
Yeah, it'll take a while. You'd kind of be building a fire on top of them.
Oh yeah.
Is Thorvald still absent?
I would say yes. Don't you dare go hot that last piece of pizza.
I'm thinking about it.
Don't do it.
Liante, looking around town, you see that this door down here is open as well.
Sorry, I'm back. I had to take a poop.
Oh, you're good. Thorvald, I was asking you, there's no response when you're knocking on this door. So what would you do?
Try to open it?
door is currently locked. As you try and open it, and you're like working the doorknob, there's no response from inside.
I'm gonna try. Is there a window?
There is indeed a window.
Alright, I'm gonna shatter it.
Kind of step over and breaking the glass. You step in to the room here.
Alright, so what do I see?
So walking inside, you see what looks like an empty room, and then over by the fireplace you see two bodies that appear to have been constricted to death by what appear to be vines.
Shit. I unlocked the door from the inside, and then...
Okay. You unlock it from the inside, allowing Liante to enter if she should so choose. Looking back at these two bodies next to the fireplace, they appear to have just been sitting calmly in chairs up until the moment that they had died.
What do they look like?
It's an elderly couple. They appear to be wearing very common clothing. They don't look like they were super well off, but they appear to have struggled somewhat before dying.
Oh no, is this guy like, is it a mad druid?
You're not sure. But this
Alright,
doesn't look like the Animali attacks.
Yeah.
You the one staying after learning the sacred word of evil god.
You're coming through really blurry, Jacob.
Sorry. The druid who went insane after learning the word of evil god.
So I remove the vines, untangle their bodies, and bring them to the other side of town, like not the same patch of dry land that I brought the Animali bodies to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bury them at that spot.
Okay, so you're burying them on the opposite end of town?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll move these guys over here. Kind of near this patch of road. Okay. So you've got them moved over there. Alright, other than that, the house looks relatively plain. There are a couple chests at the foot of the beds here where there appear to be personal belongings, but nothing to indicate large amounts of wealth.
I just leave chests and stuff. I'll leave everything.
Okay. You step back outside into the light rain and snow and wind of the ongoing storm.
Alright, next house. It's locked.
Alright, you knock on the door. There's no response. Liante, the door on this house is closed. The door on this building is open.
Let's head to the open one.
Okay. Walking over here, you are greeted with a grisly sight
Oh, come
as
on!
you step inside the building.
Yeah, try prestidigitating all of that.
Oh, I will. I will. I am bitching. I am moaning. I am cleaning up all of this mess.
cleaning this area too?
Yes.
Oh
I
my
don't care if you have to drink food written in blood. I'm just done. I'm tired of all this blood and this gore. I think we go to the valley of nice, happy, peaceful bears.
It's just not the kind of place this is. Okay, so you are cleaning this place as you walk through. Make me a perception check as you're walking through cleaning all this blood. Thorvald, are you looking through the window of this building as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna smash it and go through.
Okay. You kind of circle around the site here where you managed to find one. Stepping inside, you find what appears to be a family home. Everyone seems to have been tucked away in their beds, but everybody inside was killed in a similar fashion as the other house, seemingly strangled to death by these vines.
Alright, time to round up their bodies too and bury them, I guess.
Oh my god, you guys. Okay. Liante, what'd you get on that perception check?
23.
23. With the 23, you're noticing that as you're cleaning up these bloodstains, there is a set of tracks that appears to be much larger than the other various footprints and blood splatters. Make me a nature check.
You just assume that because I'm an elf, I'm good at nature.
No, I assume you're pretty bad at nature.
15.
15?
13.
13, yeah. These tracks are big, but they're not like anything you recognize. And you just continue tidying. Thorvald, what are you up to?
Well, there's nothing else in that house after I cleared the bodies.
I mean, again, it's a family home. There are chests with personal belongings inside. You're free to look through them if you like.
Screw it, I'll look through these chests.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
18.
18, wow, okay. Looking through, you do manage to find the key to this house. In addition to that, there are a couple trinkets that might be worth something like 20, 30 golds worth of trinkets.
I'll leave them.
Yeah. Again, lots of farming tools. Nothing that seems to be of particular note here. At this point, Olivier, still kind of in a daze, is going to slowly enter what appears to have been an inn here behind you, Liante. And Rorqual is going to go join Thorvald as he steps outside the second house. Liante is just sort of looking around at all these bodies. What are you two doing? Or I'm sorry, Olivier is looking around at all these bodies, not Liante.
Next locked house.
What is that, Liante?
This body right here, that's Strangled Vine.
Yes. It appears to be one of the Animali raiders, choked and strangled to death, seemingly here in place, not really surrounded by any enemies.
Hmm.
Thorvald, you're at the next house. It's gonna be the same deal. You knock on the door. No answer. Fortunately, there is a window right next to you here. So breaking it and stepping inside, you find another family home. This one appears to have been young parents here.
Young parents.
Looking at the cradle beside the bed, you see a small figure choked by vines.
Alright. Round them up.
Alright. Liante. Are you going to completely clean all of these vines?
I'm just gonna try coming around them.
Or I'm sorry, you're trying to do... I meant to ask, are you cleaning up all of that blood?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so you completely finished cleaning up all of this blood. Just like, I'm not sure what those giant tracks are. But they're gone now. However, as you are walking into this room over here, Liante, you see that there are bodies here and here that appear to be wounded in very different ways. As if something had just sort of like torn the bodies apart. Not like weapons.
Like something big and ape-like?
Yeah, like something big, yeah.
Where's Thorvald? Where's Rorqual been all this time?
Stepping outside, you see Rorqual standing next to Thorvald over here. As Thorvald returns from gathering bodies.
Kind of squint at the door, like
I asked Liante in passing, what did you find in there?
Dead bodies, weird tracks.
Weird tracks.
Oh, but they're gone now.
You cleaned them up? You didn't follow them?
Would you want to be stepping around in someone else's blood all day?
If it led to who did this, yes, I actually would.
I'll tell you what, the next time you come to your tracks, you can follow them.
Alright, thanks, I guess.
Okie dokie. Yeah, looking inside Thorvald, it's totally clean, save for the various bodies here and the chewed up bits of gore.
Alright, I'm gonna go and investigate these.
Okay.
Like, can't tell what, like, ripped these apart.
Roll me a nature check.
19.
19, okay. Whatever did this would have had to have been a very large animal, like Rorqual size or larger. These wounds are completely different than the axe slash marks that a lot of these civilians have. There appears to be like an arm that was just sort of tossed in this corner over here. There are bodies that seem to have been chewed and discarded. But Other than that, that is all you see. Most of the blood here has been cleaned up.
Yes, I see. Okay. Time to clean up the bodies.
Okay. Alright,
Bad guys to the top left. Good guys to the bottom right.
Are you
Or the ones that I can.
Are you getting that anomaly that's inside the vines down there as well?
Yeah, but he's going up top.
Okay.
I'm segregating the good and bad bodies.
Okay.
What about the new stuff?
I'm separating everybody. You are ending up with a Holocaust pile on the lower right hand side.
Jesus Christ. That's a unit of measurement. A Holocaust pile. God damn it.
Complete with
Mine-
babies. Okay. And I guess Thorvald or Thorvald would have moved these other two bodies down here, the good ones. That happened while you were gone. Okay, so the two of you are now standing in this inn, which, thanks to the two of you, has been generally cleaned up. There does still seem to be plenty of food and supplies here, although much of the roof has been seriously damaged.
I'm gonna search through the food and supplies.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check, both of you.
Oh, that's a nat one.
That was a 6.
A 6? Good lord. Okay. As the two of you are looking around, you do manage to find various odds and ends.
I work for Bellathor.
Yeah, there's like kitchen supplies. If you guys need any like knives or anything like that, there's plenty of cooking knives, forks, food supplies. Nothing particularly useful. But you have done a thorough job cleaning it.
Yay!
Alright. I leave. I go find another locked house.
Okay. Looking across the way, this house is locked. This house is locked. As I believe this one is. These three down here and this one right here are all locked. These two have open doors. On this side, these three buildings up here are all locked. This door is open.
Alright. Go to the first locked one, the one that's closest to me.
The one that's closest, so I guess that would be this one over here.
Yeah, that one.
Kind of circling around a little windstorm here. Again, unable to get any response from anyone trying to open the door. You sort of move around the side, break a window, and climb through. You find another family home. This one evidently belonging to a brother and sister. Both of whom were choked in their beds by these vines. the source of which seems to be growing. These vines seem to be growing directly through the bed,
Whoa.
up from the wood.
That's strange. I remove the bodies. Vines.
Okay, and you're gonna put them in the same place?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Oops. Doing so, you exit. Roll me a perception check.
12.
12. On the way out, you notice on the table a small note that seems to be a reminder to make an offering. That's all it says. Remember to make an offering.
Oh god, is this druid extorting the fucking village? Oh man. I hope this guy's gonna be a piece of shit. I already know it. This dude I'm looking for.
Alright. Liante, what are you up to?
Alright, so those 2 chests in the 2 bedrooms, do I not see and open those?
The chests in the bedrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go through all of these.
Oh yeah, then I'm definitely going for it.
Yeah, but you and Thorvald each did that earlier, and you rolled a 6 on your investigation, I think.
Yep.
So looking through, you found plenty of clothes. You found some supplies, kitchenware, but you didn't find anything that looked like a magical item to you, or anything like that. Not the kind of things you'd typically be interested in.
That is true.
You do manage to locate a key, however. So you can lock these doors, but there's no roof. Thorvald, looking at the next house, this door has been knocked wide open, and you're able to see inside.
Alright, I go inside.
Now this house is a little bit different than the others. Make me a survival check as you sort of look down at the bloodstains on the floor before you.
Blood stains on the carpet. Okay. Roll perception, is that you asked?
Survival.
Oh, it's right. 9.
Okay. With a 9, or actually, I suppose I should have had you roll nature on this. Roll me nature instead.
My survival's higher than nature, technically.
Okay.
14.
14. Okay. You can see that there are larger tracks here. These are likely the tracks that Liante was talking about before. And looking at the bodies, you can see that these bodies were similarly destroyed in the same manner as the ones that were in the inn. But looking at the floor, there do also seem to be footprints leading into and out. And in the room, there's a large bloodstain on the bed, indicating that something was killed there, but there's no body.
Yikes. Is there any steps leading away from it?
Yeah, the footprints for both the large footprints and the smaller group both lead into this room and back out again. Looking around the room, this room appeared to belong to some sort of farmer. There's barrels full of like dried goods kind of stored away in here in this little room that also serves as a storage room slash bedroom.
I'll search that.
Okay. Moving through these dried supplies in this little room, you're kind of searching everything here. You do find another small piece of paper, and it appears to be a checklist of sort, just various grains, and then off on the side there's another smaller checklist, and it looks like some of these goods were being sanctioned off or something.
Alright.
That being said, roll me a nature check given your background, having come from like a little fishing village.
12.
Okay, it doesn't have to be super high. There's a lot of dried goods here. Like, for how small this house is, this guy has a lot of value in like dried vegetables and such. While this appears to have been a farmer's house, judging by what you've seen, the people here have plenty to eat. Looking over at the window over here, you see like a wall of ice just pressed up against the glass.
Let's shatter the ice.
The ice just kind of like breaks off right there. Actually, it doesn't, because it turns out that's really hard for me to do. There we go. Okay. Liante, what are you doing?
Well, I guess since I'm unified into here, moving on to the next. This house right here looks unopened.
No, it's not. Walking over to this house, it is locked.
I want to try one of the two keys I have.
You try both of the keys, but neither seems to work. So far you have the key to this building, which has an intact roof but a broken door, and this one, which has no roof and is quite worn.
Is going to start blasting the door down.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack. As you put your palms together and deliver a Hadouken. 11, 5, 16, 29 damage as the door goes flying off its hinges.
The first two, that last one was an accident.
Oh, okay. 16 damage then. Stepping inside, this appears not to be a house after all, but some sort of workshop. A carpentry shop, in fact. Looking around, you see various carpentry tools, but a fair amount of lumber. This building also seems to be in fairly good shape, but there are no bodies, and there doesn't seem to be much storage going on here other than lumber.
Huh.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Not really.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of get a sense of your surroundings. You're like, I see a lot of tools, a lot of wood. Nothing that seems particularly interesting to you. You want to try the next building?
Yeah.
This is another one of the locked buildings. You're gonna blast this one off its hinges too. It is also locked.
Oh, fortune.
Go ahead and blast that door. 14 damage, yeah. Yeah, okay. Again, you blast the door off its hinges and step into what seems to be some sort of general store. As soon as you look around and you see the crates of supplies, you're like, oh yeah, this is what I was looking for. There are 3 small chests that kind of go along this little bench here. And walking around it, you see they are all unlocked. Additionally, in the back, there seems to be an even bigger stash of supplies, as well as a chest.
Ooh, I'm picking that chest out.
Okay. Walking over to the chest, you go to open it, but this chest is locked.
I'm just gonna save you the trouble of asking.
You're gonna do what? I'm sorry?
I'm blasting it. I'm saving you the trouble of
Oh,
asking.
you're gonna blast it.
As far as I can tell, there are like no consequences in this damn town.
Okay. You blast open this chest, and a good portion of it comes flying out the back of this wall, vanishing into the water over here. But from what you can see looking inside, there does seem to be an old suit of armor, as well as a short sword.
Yeah.
There's a small buckler as well.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing so far on these sets has been interesting. So, he's gonna give up looking at this skull.
Okay. So you're just gonna leave this building?
Yeah.
Okay. Walking past these 3 chests and this large golden urn, you step outside. Back into the rain.
I didn't realize I was there. You didn't say large golden urn to start with. So.
It's right there. And I did mention these 3 delightful golden chests. Or not golden, but they are there.
Okay, you didn't. Alright, fine. I'll look in those. You kind of. I barely just glazed over that part. My bad.
Yeah, all good. Go ahead and take a look at the building that you're in on your screen so you can see what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit tired of it.
It's all good. You are actually surrounded by what appear to be golden chalices. There's a large golden urn. There's a silver urn this way, another silver pot of some kind, and 3 chests laid out along this table.
I was gonna find nothing, but because so far I found like nothing that could benefit any of us. Well, except maybe that short sword. But let's be honest here. You're fond of your spear. I could use whatever weapon I more or less want. And Olivier has a fist. We don't need that short sword, so I'm gonna open up these chests.
With a reluctant sigh, you kind of open up the chests and are met with glittering gems that sparkle with the faint light that's coming in through the window.
Seriously, gemstones, what the?
Out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I'd rather have the plate armor than these, and I pocket them as I complain about it.
You pocket them?
Yeah, I pocket the gems.
Okay, go ahead and pocket 500 gold worth of gems.
Reluctantly pocket after that.
Yeah, just like, ugh, bunch of rocks. They
Oh,
are
these
shiny, though.
rocks.
They are shiny. Thorvald, where are you right now?
I am at the shop still. The one that it looks like a workshop. I don't know. Was I in there before?
Here?
Did you move me there?
This is where you were.
Yeah. Alright, can I move to the house below me?
Mm-hmm. Sure thing. Walking across the way, you see the door smashed open. Knocked off its hinges, in fact. And again, you are met by another strange sight. There are bloody footprints on the floor, as well as larger bloody footprints as well. Entering the room, to your right, there's a very chewed corpse that does not appear to have been killed by the raiders. And walking into the next room, you find the corpse of a man that was evidently killed by a raider, as well as a raider who appears to have been crushed to death by vines.
Same old shit. Alright. Gonna start gathering the body.
Okay. So far, you have been presented with corpses that have been killed,
Chewed.
killed by the raiders and crushed to death by vines.
Yeah, very strange.
You are welcome to inspect the bodies if you wish to glean any further information about them.
Yeah, I'll inspect these then before I take them out.
Okay, what are you looking for exactly?
Any kind of things that the attacker would have left behind on the bodies?
Well, looking at the bodies that were seemingly killed by the Animali Raiders, there's very clear signs of like evisceration that they were, or laceration, so like they were sliced and chopped. Whereas the bodies that were evidently chewed seem to have been killed in at a looking at them, it's kind of hard to tell that they were killed at the same time or a later date because the bodies are so messed up. But it's possible that these chewed bodies were already dead when they became chewed. It's hard for you to tell whether all of this happened at the same time or different times.
Yeah, so these raiders came in and attacked, and then the survivors were killed off by what could have been the druid?
You're not sure. Some of these civilians seem to have been killed by the vines, but so have some of the raiders.
Alright. I'm gonna just move these bodies out.
Okay. Moving out, you step back out here. And as you come around this corner, you notice a broken window down here.
I go and peek through it.
Peeking through, you are met with another grisly scene.
Alright, I climb through the window.
climbing through to the other side, you find yourself in a child's room. There is a dead dog and a dead child leaning against, dead dog's against the wall, dead child's leaning against the bed. And as you kind of slowly walk through the house, you see hand axes on the floor, at the feet of these two men who evidently died here.
Thanks.
Following them around the corner, you see the bodies of two children in the corner of the bed, and a mother whose corpse seems to have fallen between the beds. Gonna bury all these people as well?
Yep. And delete your work.
Alright, let me move them over. I'll put the dogs with the good guys. Oh my god. Okay.
All the bodies.
I know. There's so many.
It's a good cause. It's a good cause.
So you are essentially moving the entire town of Drifeldur into a pile on the ground. Footsteps continue out this window here. I'm looking in the window of this house over here, which also had its door kicked open. You are able to see another chewed corpse, but this time, again, there's no body.
Unless we make a box. You want it?
Alright, remove that lone body out of there.
Okay. The single corpse. Liante, as you step outside the general store, your pocket's heavy with gems.
Reluctantly heavy.
Reluctantly heavy with gems. You try the next building, and blasting the door off its hinges, you discover another store. And this one seems to be selling goods, various goods such as weapons and armor and tools. So this would have been for the hunters as well as the farmers. The first store was more of like a goods store, and this one is more of like a utility items store.
Time to search.
Okay. Roll me that investigation. Six. Wow. Womp womp. There's nothing stopping you from robbing the register, which are basically these three little chests here, and you're able to find a fair amount of gold, like about 30 gold or so. Nothing compared to the rare antiques next door. But as you search the back, you find that there is a corpse here that has been strangled to death by the vines.
I wake him up.
Shaking the body, it doesn't seem to move.
I yell in his ear, "Wake up! God damn it!"
You yell at the body, but it unblinkingly lays there, staring at the box at its side.
I open the box.
You open the box to find a folded set of leather armor within. generally speaking, if you guys are looking for weapons or armor out of the player's handbook, as long as it's not too exotic, you'd be able to find it here.
Hmm. Yeah.
Looking at the final two houses, Thorvald, this one appears to be blocked by ice. You won't be able to get in through the front door by traditional means. But breaking a window, you climb through into a bedroom and find two people strangled to death here at the end of their table.
Jesus. God damn it. Alright, I'm gonna search around for. I'm gonna search through any belongings and remove the bodies.
Okay, roll me investigation.
16.
16. Okay. You find in the pocket of one of them, one of the corpses on the ground, that they have a note saying that they intend to meet with Asselden later on. As
More
in,
like asshole then.
as in later on that day.
Yeah. Okay. Remove the body. Get it out of here.
Alright, you step back out as you and Liante round up on the last house in town, the door of which is wide open. Inside you find an old man who appears to have been killed on his kitchen floor, and the body of a marauder strangled to death in the room beyond.
Okay. Search this house too. For any clues?
This house seems to belong to the man who was in charge of the tools, weapons, and armor. You can see he's got several stacks of iron ingots kind of lined up along the wall. And the way it is set aside, it seems to have been kind of partitioned off similarly to the dried goods you found before. I'll move this anomaly up there. Okay, you guys have now explored the entire town to a pretty minimal extent. Kind of poked your head in each house, took a look around. You rejoin in here to find Olivier with a mug of ale in her hand, sort of drinking somberly at this table, seemingly lost in thought.
A nod at Olivier, and can't really talk to her, can I?
Yeah, not really. You recognize this look, actually, Thorvald.
Yeah.
She looks like she did after you first showed her that owl mask. And it occurs to you that she probably hasn't been this close to the raiders in a long time. Or yeah, that's right.
The rabbit mask, but wasn't she? She was definitely this close to them in the abyss.
Yes, but the Abyss Raiders, or the Abyss, the Anomaly group in the Abyss were the Owl Priests, the Scholars.
And the Rabbit Priest.
And the Rabbit Priest.
Would have
But
seen, right?
these Raiders, which are the same Raiders that ransacked your home, are the same Raiders that ransacked hers. and also the reason why she lost her arm.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so Thorvald, this is actually the closest you've been to this particular type of raider, and pretty much since Scotty. The Owl Priests were kind of a different ball game, but you did get a chance to see the Rabbit Priests again.
Yeah.
As you're all sitting there, you hear a small voice sort of say, I swear I left it lying somewhere around here. Surely it must be somewhere. And a small creature seems to wander inside the room here and sort of startles, looking at you all, and say, "Whoa, what's this? This is a little unexpected."
I'll stand up abruptly.
We've got visitors. You tower over this thing. Looking at it, it looks like a weird mix between a duck and a fish.
I say, "What are you?"
As it's looking at you, it says, "What am I? What are you?"
I am Thorvald. Did you kill all these things? All these people?
Me? No. Goodness, no. I could never do such a thing. Well, it must have taken something quite large to do all this, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but what did you leave here? You're coming back for whatever reason.
Coming back? Well, this is where I came from, isn't it? And it seems to pause and think, confused.
Did you live here?
Live here? I think so. I'm pretty sure I did. With that, there is a brilliant burst of lightning, and this thing screams and suddenly vanishes from sight.
Wow. Like, vanishes as in poof, or vanishes as in runs away?
No, like, he screams as it's like explodes into lightning and then is just gone.
What the fuck? It's like, ah!
Yeah, basically.
This weird fucking duckfish.
Olivier takes another sip of her drink. It's starting to get dark outside. You've managed to pile up all the bodies. Where will y'all be staying for the evening?
Oh, I buried those bodies, right?
Sure. We'll go ahead and say she buried all these bodies.
We'll be staying in the inn. I'm gonna bar the doors.
Okay. You're staying in... The inn has no roof to it. In fact, most of these buildings have been destroyed, but there is a brewery off over here that Liante has the key to, allowing her to lock these doors if you guys repair one of them. Most of the other houses are destroyed or worn down to a pretty good extent.
Okay, whatever house is decent enough, I guess.
Okay.
Bar the doors to that.
In that case, you will be staying in the brewery because that is pretty much the closest you're gonna get. I'm trying to bury all of these bodies over here. And there's a large, freshly dug mound where the entire populace of Drifeldur is buried within, save for a certain someone.
Saved for a certain someone?
Save with the exception of a certain someone. Are you burying the raiders as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
I am back. What did I miss?
Thorvald,
You got one shot by a minotaur. Sorry, dude.
Fantastic.
Just kidding.
Okay,
Ultimately one that
there you go.
cares.
Good job, Thorvald. You've managed to bury a shitload of bodies. Would have taken pretty much all day. So you guys, y'all were saying y'all wanted to hole up in whatever was the best building, basically.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's gonna be this brewery up here. Liante has the key to these doors, but Thorvald, you're gonna need to fix this door that got blasted off its hinges. Doesn't look like
Okay,
it should be too hard.
Use my mend on the hinges, or like, is anything damaged, or can I just put it back on the hinges?
Yeah, it's basically just the hinges have been torn out of the wall. But
Yeah, so I amend the hinges, or the broken sections of the wall back to the hinges.
Okay. That being done, you guys hole up for the night in here. There's not really any windows in this building, but there is a small fireplace that you'd be able to start a fire in if you so choose.
Is there any wood in there?
Yeah, there's a small stash of wood that they use for getting the fireplace going.
I use my druid craft and summon a flame to start the fire with.
Nice. Okay. And that is going to get a small fire going as you guys all sort of settle in for the night. Thorvald, throughout the day you've noticed yourself feeling kind of drained and tired. Not quite yourself.
Yeah, I buried like 400 bodies.
Well, there's that too, but you just feel just a little bit like exhausted. Like there's something kind of just wearing down on you. During the night, you're all sort of like relaxing, doing your thing, when you hear this.
Wait, can you make that a little bit louder?
Yeah, sure. You hear this.
Like a girl scream?
No. It's like,
Fancy screen.
yeah, it's like a very bestial, kind of large animal scream.
I like wake up, or like what the?
Doesn't
Like a wake
sound,
Liante up.
doesn't sound like anything you've heard before. Liante doesn't really sleep. She's kind of off meditating in the corner.
Oh.
But she is certainly going to start like startle at this. As the two of you immediately sort of like look across the room at each other. Olivier, who kind of drank herself into relaxation, is kind of slumped over here next to the barrels, resting fitfully.
How far away was that?
It's hard for you to say with the storm, but it sounded like it was coming at least from the opposite side of town.
You know, where you buried all those bodies.
Okay. What is it? Nighttime?
Yes, it is currently the middle of the night.
Ooh, spooky. Okay. Spooky, scary skeletons. Let's go outside. Okay. Alright, I went outside. What, do I see anything? Or do I hear anything else?
You step outside, you don't hear anything with the storm raging on. Go ahead and make me a perception check to try and see through the rain in the dark at night. See if you see
Oh god. 18.
18? Oh, I'm sorry. Do it at disadvantage.
10.
10. Yeah, it's the middle of the night and it's storming outside and snowing a little bit too. You can't quite make out anything, but you gather that it's likely not safe to be blind out here in the dark.
Yeah. I go back inside and I'll lock the door and bar it again, and we'll just wait till morning.
Okay. You guys all, given that there's no real windows, you guys all just sort of like rest until the next day. When morning comes along, you all awake here in your brewery. What are y'all going to do today?
I want to follow that trail in the southeast area.
Okay. Liante, are you gonna tag along?
I mean, sure, why not? He's just gonna get himself killed anyway.
That's the spirit. Thorvald is inside with you guys, and not outside all night, where it is not safe to be. Okay. So you guys are following the trail in the lower right-hand corner. As you guys do so, get to see. Now here at the start of the trail, near where you buried all those bodies, Thorvald, you see that many of the bodies that you buried appear to have been dug up. Right here. And there are various limbs missing from the corpses.
Come on. Do I find any tracks? Do I see any tracks? I'll roll a perception for it. 14.
14? You do see tracks. They are the large tracks that you saw before. But this time it's, instead of being in blood, it's like squelched into the mud of what used to be a field here. And it just kind of stamps off in this direction. And kind of disappears into the water.
Yeah. Okay.
But these are very large tracks. Like about, say, 3 feet in diameter. That being said,
monster. I'm gonna follow the tracks.
you're gonna follow the tracks?
Yep.
Well, they only lead into the water and then they kind of disappear.
Oh. Which way into the water?
They appear to be going in this direction.
I'm gonna go to the other bodies that I buried.
Okay. Crossing back up through town, you make your way back, but the bodies here don't appear to have been disturbed.
Okay. I'm gonna search through all the houses again,
Okay.
just to be certain. See if I spot anything.
Looking through the houses, don't see anything different on the inside. Some of the houses were cleaned by Liante. But other than that, they appear to be empty. This place is a virtual ghost town.
50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. Okay, I'm just gonna continue on the trail southeast.
Okay. Now, I don't have a map for this, but as you guys are heading up the trail, you eventually come to a split in the path. And you can go left or right.
Is there any tracks or anything going either way?
Make me a survival check. As you sort of kneel down to examine the tracks.
17.
With a 17, you can tell the majority of the tracks seem to continue on down in a certain direction to the left, but there do seem to be fresher tracks that head towards the right. They're not the big ones, but they're like footstep-sized tracks.
I'm gonna head right.
Okay. You head right. And you don't have to go too far before the group of you discover a small outpost, seemingly freshly erected, mostly made of wood and timber.
We walk up to it.
Okay. Taking a good look at it, it seems to be like you kind of climb over the wall because you don't hear any activity going on within, and looking around you see animal skins, pelts, bones, teeth, and a good number of animali corpses that have all been strangled to death by vines. In addition to that, there is a large stockpile of timber off on one side. It appears they were trying to make some sort of outpost here.
I'm gonna search the bodies and just search this area.
Okay. As usual, you're able to find a good number of like bone and tooth tools. There's animal skins, pelts, feathers. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
No.
Okay. There is a rabbit priest that has been choked to death as well.
Yeah, I'll remove all of them and bury the bodies.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you don't have to, since there's no map, I guess.
Alright, I don't have to manually do all that again, which I'm grateful for. So yeah, generally speaking, this appears to have been an animali outpost that was overcome, and everybody inside appears to have been strangled to death. What do you think of all that, Liante?
Sorry, I was kind of doing something else. Wasn't really thinking.
Do you know what's going on?
Something, rabbit priest choked to death on vine.
You guys have discovered an animali outpost. It appears to have been still being built.
Sorry, this is really tired. My bad.
That's good. We'll go a little further and then we can go ahead and stop. and you guys will just kind of get the intro as it's already 12:16. But the path to the right, which is really more of a recently made footpath, seems to lead towards this outpost, which has been completely overrun with plant life at this point. The path to the left, where the majority of feet go. Are you guys done with this outpost?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The path to the left leads up a way to about here. Let me put you guys all on this map. There we go. Okay. So this is what you see. Around you, the majority of the wood seems to have been cleared already. A great number of these trees have all been chopped down. And you kind of make your way up this path. And looking at this tree to the left of you both, at about here, you see in the middle of all of these green trees a ring of dead trees surrounded by a ring of brown trees, like they're waning, almost like the autumn. And looking at the tree closest to you, there are bodies that seem to have been choked to death by these vines, with hand axes on the ground beside them.
Beneath those trees?
Mm-hmm. Beneath this tree, there are two bodies that have been choked to death by vines, as well as this one here.
Bury him. Bury him.
Alright. You are able to bury this body. However, as you attempt to do something about this body over here, or this one over here, you are unable to remove the vines. As every time you tear them, they seem to regrow over the corpse, pressing it deeper into the earth.
Must be close by.
The path seems to lead right up to this small pond where it stops.
Yep. Is there anything that I can see? Anybody I can see?
There's no people that you can see. There's just a ring of dead trees and a very large tree in the front.
I'm gonna look around, trying to see if I can find clues.
Okay. So you're kind of like meandering around. Roll me an investigation check.
16.
16. Okay. So as you're sort of looking around, you're like kind of over by the stump. You hear a small voice beside you sort of speak out and say, lost your way, have you?
What's the druid's name I'm looking for?
Asselden.
I say, with a calm voice. Hasselden.
Asselden. You've come for Asselden, have you? Well, I'm afraid you have lost your way then. You'll not find him here at this grove. He's lost his way too. Gone elsewhere.
How so?
Well, you'll know if you look for him. I could help you find him. But...
And who are you?
He says, I am Incredus. A longtime friend of his. But I'm afraid that it does require some patience. There are many facets to me, unfortunately.
So where do I start?
Where do you start? I guess if you're meant to find Asselden, well, you'll figure something out. And with that, he screams as he bursts into lightning and vanishes from view.
God fucking damn it.
Man, what an asshole. Oh, I just got it.
Wait, what did the scream sound like?
It sounds extremely painful. It sounds like
Yeah,
he
but
is suffering a great deal. It's not a scream like you heard before. It is the high-pitched scream of a small animal in pain.
Oh, okay. Alright, gonna look around a little more, I guess.
Okay. Incredus, roll me insight on this.
10.
10? Incredus had just called this place special. He had said if you were looking for Asselden, you wouldn't find him here at this grove. But other than that, he said it was up to you to figure out how to find Asselden. Olivier and Liante. Liante, are you looking for anything in particular as you guys are here?
Not really.
Okay, then Liante is just standing in place, kind of staring up at the sky.
Yeah, I'm just looking around.
Do you have any questions about your environment?
Is there any tracks anywhere?
There are tracks. The tracks seem to lead up from this main path, up between these towards these stones here, and then they abruptly stop.
I'm gonna go up to that pond again.
Okay.
And
You stand before this pond, surrounded by a ring of dead trees. There are a number of stepping stones leading out into the center of the pond.
I'm gonna walk across the stones and sit down in the middle.
Okay. You sit down. Make me a perception check.
12.
12. It occurs to you that you don't hear any birds in the vicinity. It sounds completely and utterly quiet. save for the wind. As you sit on this stone here in the center, what sort of things are going through your mind?
What has happened to this place? It seems that there was more than one, if not two parties that were fighting. That being the townspeople, the druid I look for, or a druid, and the raiders. And I also wonder why I'm so tired. I'll just throw that in there.
Yeah, just like, why am I feeling so worn out? As you're wondering that, you do hear another yawn.
Yeah, it's that thing. Figures.
So you sit down in the middle of this this pond, surrounded by these dead trees here, and you're just sort of sitting and pondering what you should do next. And do y'all want to call that a stopping point right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess so.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and stop right there.